Sometimes you just hold pain, and you hold pain because it's not the right time, and that's how you do it. And then one day, with no plans, the Holy Spirit just comes in and says, okay, this is the time. What? In front of this many people?
700 people.
700 people.
I mean, I was sharing my heart, and suddenly my translator has the exact same experience.
As you start sharing your story from Zimbabwe, it was just like you were telling my story from Venezuela.
Right.
And so, even though I was understanding what you were saying, just my entire heart was just like twisting, and I couldn't speak anymore, and I started crying, and it was just, it just made all this inside, like.
In just a moment, I knew exactly what you were feeling, and you obviously were impacted so greatly by what so my family has also been torn apart. My kids have never met relatives that they should have grown up with and should have had a connection to.
Yes.
So for me, it's really a painful process to watch my kids grow up, in a way, orphaned. And, in a refugee situation, you leave with whatever you can carry. My parents had incredible persecution too. My mother's nose was broken. People came to the house with guns.
Yes.
And so I had the same desire as a son, worried for my mom and my dad.
Yes.
And saying to them, you have to find a way to get out.
You have to find a way to get out.
And for you, it's very recent. For me, it's over a decade ago. So for me, it's not 3 weeks. For you, tell me a little bit about that.
It has been 3 weeks since we left the country, and we have our two biological kids. They're outside the country.
Right.
About 4 years ago, we started the process, but we didn't have the finances for all of us to go as family.
So you were saving the kids first and finding
So we saved money, and we were able to send our daughter about 2.5 years ago, to send her to the States. She's an American citizen.
Okay.
And so then we saved some more money. 8 months later after my daughter left, we were able to send our son to New Zealand.
Okay.
But it also, even though we were happy and that they were safe, that their life was not being threatened anymore, it also made a family separation to corners of the world.
Right.
Venezuela, the States, and then New Zealand. So it was just us then. I mean, my wife and I. And at some point, our children, after 2 years, they started sharing with us that we're really going into depression, and we have insomnia and worries, and
because they're worried about your safety.
Yeah, they were worried about our safety. During all those, like this past 3 months, I got robbed at gunpoint twice.
Right.
On a magnum on my head or on here on my chest, and that's besides the entire insecurity with the National Guards shooting at people and all of it. That's because that's what communism does.
Right.
And so a month ago, we took a decision after having a video conference with our children, and we said, okay, we're leaving. And so in 6 days, we gave away almost everything we had, all of our belongings. We sold a little bit of stuff, and we just left. We bought a ticket to Costa Rica and left everything behind. Everything is affected. Food, you make long lines, hours waiting to find. Yes.
Basic necessities.
And medicine, I've seen some people die at the hospital because I'm an intern, and so it really affects a lot when you see people dying because there is no medicine. Something simple, such as high blood pressure. That person could have been saved if I would have found that medicine 3 weeks ago, and now you see this person dying of a stroke.
So doctors are standing around who can help this child,
but you can't do anything.
No medicine to do anything.
And what hurts the most is the kids. When you're working on ER for the pediatrician area, and you see these kids with lung infections and or a kidney infection, and there's nothing you can do.
So you were studying too?
I was only, after 6 years and 3 months of studying medicine, I was only 5 weeks away to finish the career.
And was that holding you there? Would you have left earlier?
That was one of the main reasons that we were there is because I was just 1 inch away.
Okay.
to finish. And so, yeah, it was one main reason. But in situations like this, there's not a win-win. I mean,
Right.
you lose.
You do what you need to do.
And it's about either it's a life or death. I mean,
Right.
you take a decision on it.
Yeah.
Or if you have your kids outside, then it's about them too. But while we were in Venezuela, you have hope, but it's not a hope that it's like, okay, this is gonna finish soon. It's you
Right.
really place your hope in God, and
Right.
it's like, no matter what, we will
Somehow.
hold on to you, Lord.
Somehow.
And but together with that comes the calling. I mean, YWAM has been such a fountain, a source of hope for our lives.
Right.
And the University of the Nations, how everything is structured, that even though you might be going through what you're going through, you know that you have a great family outside
Right.
in this world. There's so many countries that they're praying for you. They're YWAMers, they're YWAM bases, and the University of the Nations is there saying, we're together, and you're not alone. We will give you a hand somehow. And you do feel that in your spirit. You do. It's just it's something that you just know it is like that.
So the isolation that perhaps other refugees would feel without that structure of
Yes.
of a community around you, it would be even more extreme.
Yeah, it would. I cannot imagine how.
Completely overwhelming.
Yes.
Like to be in a place like Lesbos, or where you're in a refugee camp surrounded only by other refugees.
Yes.
The isolation and the fear. I mean, fear for the future.
Yes, this conference has been a great healing to me.
Right.
A deep healing. I have comforted hundreds of people in my own nation, as a leader, as a pastor, as a missionary, as a doctor. But you take pain,
And you just kind of.
and then
Where do you put it?
where you put it. So I came and got involved in the conference. You start seeing the riches of the nations, but they're being offered to God, and that I saw the Koreans dancing with so much joy, and I was like, gosh, this is what I needed. This is heaven, and this is how it is.
So you may have lost a connection with your nation, but you're part of a new kingdom.
Yeah, and
A
it's
new expression of.
so many people from all the nations represented here. They have come and say, we're not alone. You're not alone. We're together. We're family.